Hello, sweet friend. My name is Maike, and in this video, I would like to journal with you in my Passepartout weekly. And as always, with these weekly spreads, I like to start with one or two big stickers to help me figure out a color scheme and where things are gonna fall. And I think you can see on camera, I did put in some information for myself in pencil just to help my memory. Yes, it is quite shocking how quickly I forget things these days. And I think something that's going to be easy to help me start this spread with is Wednesday, Thursday, because I tried out a new recipe for a rice broccoli soup, and I had swapped out the chicken from the recipe for some vegetarian meat and had to make some other cooking adjustments. And boy, oh boy, that soup did not turn out great. I overcooked the rice. It was so mushy, and I don't know, it was not good. So let's see, I do know I have cooking cats somewhere, quite a few of them. Yeah, I bet it would have had a lot of flavor in the way the original recipe wanted it to be done, because you were cooking the rice with the chicken broth. So yeah, that's obviously not the same with these meat alternatives. And my goodness, there we go. Here we have some cats. I did have to add more seasoning to it than I had originally planned because it was so, yeah, not flavorful at all. So this might be a good one, although I do love this one right here with the recipe book. And this one is actually cooking a soup. So that could also be a thing. I mean, you know, I did want to make both Wednesday and Thursday about the soup, because on Thursday I tried to improve on it a little bit just so that we could eat some of the leftovers still. And yeah, it had more flavor then, but yeah, still not very great. Yeah, how about I'll just use this one just because it fits that shape very well. So we'll put this down. Because the rice had such a bad texture, because I overcooked it on Thursday, I did another experiment, and I took a portion of the soup out and pureed it. And would you know it, if you overcook rice, you can puree rice. And it's no longer rice. So yeah, there's that. So did find that out. I'll chalk it up to experience. Yeah. I mean, we can all laugh about that, right? Sometimes things just don't go to plan. I just felt bad that the people around me had to eat that because we didn't have anything else planned. So yeah, that's a good one, and that gives us quite some nice colors to work with, you know, some nice minty greens and grays and browns. I got some Happy Mail on Friday from the lovely Hiba, and on Sunday, me and my husband watched a movie on the computer, so I'm seeing this right here, so could use that. Here I had used some transparent sticker paper. So this is gonna look a little different, but I think that still works overall. Put her there. Ah, she fits so beautifully in that little space. Yes, okay. Well, I could use this one for Happy Mail, although that looks like such a big box. It wasn't quite that, but I think I know I had a cat that had sort of more like little packages. I must say that I think it would be helpful if I organized some of these stickers by topic, maybe, rather than just keep adding to it chronologically whenever I release new sticker sheets. How do you organize your stickers? Do you organize them by topic? Ah, there she is. or do you organize them just as you get them, which kind of results in a chronological order, I suppose? She is a little big, but Saturday won't need all that much, I don't think. So I think we can just use this one. And then, yeah, no, I'll see about some more washi. Just like that. And then I was working quite a bit on Tuesday, and we had a nice piece of cake on Monday. So can we do something with the cake? Because not everything, obviously, especially given the size, not everything needs to have a big sticker. Although there she is drawing, and I was drawing a lot on that day. Do we want to just so because we happen to have come across her, do we want to just add her there? She goes into a bit of a different color scheme. I like it, but that's maybe not quite it. So let's see. I mean, that's the good news about adding things as... Oh, look, there were more packages. Adding things just as they come in, it sometimes helps you rediscover stickers you had maybe forgotten about. So there's that. But yeah, I don't know. It all has its pros and cons, I suppose, and some things you just have to experience for a while to really know what actually would be helpful. Well, here's some cake. It obviously is pumpkin pie cake. Well, pumpkin pie. I guess it's not cake. I don't know what the difference between pie and cake is, but we had some apple cake. Do we just embrace the cake and don't worry about that it's... can my brain do that? I don't think so. I gotta be honest. Maybe we can just copy this little drawing. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Some things I'm okay when the stickers don't quite match what's going on, but in this case, and then I'll just have that laying over here. Well, you can't see it, but I guess that's okay. And do we want to add some more washi before we get into that? Maybe. I do love the combo of these two washis. They're both yohaku tapes. They're so beautiful. This is the last little bit of it. And then I used it all up. And I kept wanting to buy a backup and then kind of always forgot. And now I can't find it anymore. And it's my favorite. But I'm still using it because I'm sure I'm going to come across another favorite eventually. And I'd rather use my stuff up than hoard it indefinitely. But yeah, yohaku tapes are my favorite. They're so delicate. And I just find that because of their delicate nature, they just integrate into spreads so beautifully, and they match each other quite well too, which is nice. Just adding this along the spine. Do you call it the spine if it's on the inside? That's quite fun. Yeah. And then we'll add some more like little stickers or maybe some flower stickers to build this out. But I think this is quite nice so far. Okay. And where do we have, right here. This is currently my favorite pencil. This is a Unikuru Toga. And what's special about this is that every time you click and pull the nib out or the lead out, it automatically rotates the lead, so you're not using up one side of the lead, and so you're working on it more consistently. I don't know if that was a very good explanation, but That's that. And I don't quite remember. I did put different lead in than what this comes with. But I don't remember. I was gonna say I can make a guess, but yeah, I don't know. I know that some people are very specific about their pencil leads, and that there's this whole culture that, or this whole discussion that you can get into about which pencil leads are the best, or which pencils are the best. And I understand the fascination with that as someone who, obviously very regularly uses pens and pencils, and obviously is a fan of fountain pens. And there's a similar thing going on there, of course, in terms of the culture around it, and that people have favorites and things that they like and don't like, and that certain things you only start to notice once you hear other people talking about it. It almost gives you words to your experience, which I find fascinating, and that's sort of a fascinating thing about any hobby, really, I guess, where some people might not quite understand what the quote-unquote the fuss is about, but then once you get into it, you kind of get to appreciate the nuances and the little things. So that's quite great. But so I do know that I have pencils that I don't like. Maybe they smudge too much, or they get too dark too quickly. That tends to not be quite my favorite, or they don't get dark enough. They're just a little too soft. So there's that. And can you even see what's happening? So here I have the little kitty with the fork drawn out. And then now this is the part that is different, because obviously we didn't eat pumpkin pie. We ate a piece of apple pie, and it had this cover, this top with some, I think it was like almond splitters, and then it had the apple filling underneath. Yes, really lovely. And I don't know if I want to indicate some of the apple pieces in there. That might be nice, just a few. Don't have to show all of them. But yeah, are you a pencil aficionado? Do you have a favorite pencil or a pencil lead? I've always also been interested in, I know that here, Kaweco does the almost like the sport model, but as a pencil. I think they're a little thicker, and I do love how short they are and how thick they are. I like chubby pens and pencils, so I might try that out too. But I think so far I've hesitated because the Kaweco take a 0.7 lead, and this has a 0.5 lead, so there's that. And because most of the time I use the pencil just as an underlayer and I erase most of it. I would think that the finer lead suits my needs right now a little better, but I also am not quite sure how much of a difference 0.5 to 0.7 makes. And now we have to make a decision though. What ink do we want to use? What do I think I'm gonna write with? Because sometimes it's nice to do the drawings. If I add, maybe I'll add more doodles just so that this isn't so isolated. It's fun to have that in a different color than the writing, but you can also obviously create a fun look with everything being the same ink color. I'm kind of drawn to either one of these two, although the Haho mask is so fun too. Yes, let's do that. I think I used this one in my last journal with me too. Yeah. This is a Sailor Pro Gear with a medium nib and Colorverse Haho mask, which is sort of like soft corally beigey color with gray. I think I said that in my last video too. I don't even know if I would call it shading, because it almost is an internal gray core glow kind of thing, which sounds crazy. but that's the best I can describe it. I can't decide if I need it posted or not. I would want the weight, but not the length. That is very often my problem, that I do like the stability that a thicker, weightier end gives, but I tend to not like when they get so long. And I know a lot of people think of sailor nibs or sailor pens as a little too small, but yeah, I like it. One of those little things again that you just find out by using a lot of it. And I think I'm just gonna fill in the little neck scarf because I made a mistake and it looked like the cat had a little chin, which wasn't quite the look that I was going for, but that's easy. That's an easy fix. Like so. And then we'll just give the boots some color too, make that match. Oftentimes when there are quote-unquote little mistakes or things that you want it to look differently, if you just do it again, or if you have a cover-up and you just do that same visual cue again, it looks less like a mistake, but more like a pattern, and then everything's just fine. Yeah, that's a cute color. And that goes well with the carrots down there too. Nice. Okay, and now the apple pie. Like so, and the little almond thingies. Do you have a favorite cake or pie? And is that something that you bake yourself, or is that something that you get maybe at a favorite place for that? I am definitely not a baker. I often get frustrated and overwhelmed, and yeah, find it so frustrating too that you can't try and fix it. Like once you have the thing together, that's the way it goes into the oven. It's not like the things you can do with, say, a soup, where you can just add some more seasoning the next day and puree it or whatever. I mean, I guess you can puree cake, but I don't know, that's not gonna help much, does it? Okay, cute. And then maybe I'll think about if I can add some more doodles, or maybe I'll add some thicker lettering with this pen, just so that this kind of look is gonna pop in and out. Oh yeah, let's do like a recipe fail. Could do that. I didn't really think about what kind of lettering I was gonna do, so I'm just going for it. Recipe, because this is the kind of stuff where then you kind of end up creating all kinds of weird words. So I didn't think about it enough, and then the lettering gets all out of hand. There we go. Yeah, I do like looking up new recipes and maybe even putting my own spin on it. I find that very creatively fulfilling, but yeah, I guess sometimes I maybe lack a little bit of more understanding of what's happening in a recipe, and so I think I can make changes to certain aspects of the recipe, and they don't quite pan out because I didn't understand how that is different, you know? Okay, and then we did also take a walk on Sunday. I could put some little trees here. Or what about Saturday? Also watched some TV, work TV, so a lot of just general day-to-day things. Was there anything out of the ordinary? Oh yes, I did have a glass of wine while watching TV, which I rarely do, but that was kind of nice. So we can just put in a glass. Yeah. Maybe we'll write over it cheers. Just because. Yeah, okay, so that pops up every now and again. Quite like that. And yeah, I don't think you can quite see what I mean with the internal haloing. I also sometimes wonder if this Midori paper is a little bit more matte. It doesn't show shading quite as much as I've had in other Midori notebooks, but maybe that's a silly thing to say. I don't know if Midori would actually create different Midori papers for their different products, other than, say, the cotton line. But I would think production-wise, not sure. Okay, so now I'm just going through in this step and finding like little bits and pieces. Maybe I'll start with the sticker sheets and just see if there's anything that I want to sprinkle in, just little ones that just help with the overall story. And let's see, so we still don't have anything on Tuesday. That was drawing. I do think I have, yes, I have this sticker sheet here. There's some pens and inks and things. But I also think, yes, this one right here. This is so cute. I love that even the backing looks like a house and then all these items. I'm sure we can use some of this. Let me get this out of the packaging. Her with her little painting there. That would be cute, but I think it's a little big. Unless I just use the painting, but then I would think that's a little sad. But maybe I'll just use some of her items. Could do that. What else do I have here? Oh, we have some more cooking supplies if I wanted to add in some of those to build that out. Look, there's a little recipe. Put that in there. Cute. And then, yeah, all of these are different kinds of food that weren't involved. And like I said, I have a little bit of a hard time with adding things that aren't quite the right thing. At least if it is that specific. Well, let's see here. Maybe I'll just take some of her art supplies, even though I was drawing on my iPad. But I think we can make that is close enough for my brain, I guess, to be okay with that. Yeah. Just set that right there. Oh, come on. There we go. And there's also these little tubes. Cute. I wonder. Could also just do some of these more decorative floral pieces. These flowers would fit her. Just put one there. What else do we have? What else? Those were the food ones. These are cute little kitties and a house. I mean, I did stay at home on Saturday. Do we want to put the house there? What do we think? Maybe. Like that. And maybe we can put something in the corner. What could we do with that? Let's see if we have any other. Oh, there's another cute little flower. Let's see if we can find something that's a little bigger, just to change up the size of things. Oh, there's all these too. I keep forgetting that I have this. Oh. Yeah, okay. Here's more flowers. These are maybe a little big. These ones are pretty. What about some of these? To sit in the corner with the yellow. What do you think? Is that a good idea? What about this? This is a little bit more purple blue. Just have that coming off of the side. And then it creates a little frame. That's cute. And then do we want to have another flower somewhere else so that it ties things together maybe? I don't know. Maybe not. I feel like maybe something is needed here, but I'm not sure. Maybe I should add my writing, because it is getting full, and so then I can maybe reassess the situation as to whether or not something else is needed over there. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I think that's a good idea when in doubt, because I definitely do want to have enough space for my writing, don't I? All right, I'll fill this in and then I'll be right back. And here we have it all filled in. I think the only minor adjustment I did was I moved the recipe sticker from here to there, and then was able to fit another flower in there, which I thought was nice to mirror that one right here to bring that in over on it to the other page. And also this filled the space just a little bit better. So yeah, if you're interested in the ink colors, the lighter drawings I did with Colorverse, Haho Mask, and then the writing is done with the wet pen Giant Pacific Octopus, which is a really nice chocolatey dark brown. Yeah, I think those look really nice together. And overall, I think this was quite fun to put together again. It's always nice to have you here for these journaling sessions. I hope you got some journaling done too, or were able to relax and take a breather. And if you want to support this video and have nothing else to say, maybe in the comments leave me a pie emoji. Is there a pie emoji? Or maybe just a fork emoji if there is no pie emoji. As always, I so appreciate all of your support and for you being here and sharing this time with me. All right, until next time, happy journaling.